We're back. We're back from our commercial break. The J&J News Network with reporter Joshua and reporter Jessica. So far, we've had our story about Joshua's fishing trip with Daddy. We gave you our commercial where we encourage you, especially at this time, to please dig into your hearts and dig into your pockets and be giving to the poor and be sharing with the needy, okay? Because you never know when your turn might come and you too might be in need of help, okay? So we want to encourage you. Let us be our brother's keeper. And now we're going to have our story from reporter Jessica. Yeah. So you are asking me the questions. Now, when we talk about the fishing, I ask you. Now you have to ask me. So my story is going to be about community, right? This is going to be about the neighborhood. I'm going to tell you a bit and then you can ask me any questions. This is focusing on the neighborhood where Auntie grew up. This is called Freehill Black Rock. Yeah. And this is a wonderful community. It's a very good village. You see how we were talking during our commercial break about the importance of sharing? And what I love about this community is how everyone looks out for each other. Like my mom, I always talk about my mom is 90 years old. And you have mom bake her ham at Christmas and mom shared her ham with her neighbors. Then one of the neighbors came over and she went and she got mom's medication and paid mom's bills. Another one came over and fixed something in mom's bathroom. Then there's a neighbor across the street. He has been looking on an elderly woman next to him. He puts in her eye drops at night. Another house nearby, that person has gone away on vacation, so he's been seeing after that house, and on it goes. If I'm doing something at home, like one person was washing down their home or doing something, they came over to borrow a hose, and this is how we want to be living. And I love that about that neighborhood, that community. Everyone just takes care of each other and looks out for each other. So I'm going to let you ask me a couple questions. So anything you want to ask me about, it doesn't have to be about the community. See if you can ask Auntie at least 3 questions. Not Auntie, reporter Jessica. Yeah, we give you the real news here. What you would like to ask?
How was it like growing up in the neighborhood?
What a wonderful question. It was a very interesting experience. I have memories of when I was young, ages ago, and he was a little girl, and you know something that I experienced? We used to all go to the beach as a neighborhood. You would see people come from high up in the hill and come and they would be shouting, Michael, Tony, Harcourt, Glennis, they would be calling all the names, and as they call the names, we would come out, maybe it was like 5 o'clock or so. That's how you see how Josh would talk about going to the beach, going fishing early, and it was still dark. And this was such a special time. Outside would be dark, and as we walked, then we would make our way to the beach. That would be Pile Bay. That is also some place where people go to fish and so on. Yeah? And we would go down there and we would be bathing and we would feel safe. Normally in this dark, obviously it's a whole number of us. And even as we walk and make our way down, like what we would call the main road or the front road, more people would join in and it would be a big group of us. And we would go and have a nice swim and see the sunrise. That would be really nice. Then also we would have fun, like playing together. In my neighborhood where I grew up, a lot of my family lives there. Like, so you have your cousin lives nearby to you in Aguila? You think so? No, not nearby. Okay. But in my neighborhood where I grew up, like a lot of family houses, So I would go by one of my aunts and we would be in her yard climbing her plum tree and we would be playing games and having a lot of fun. So it really was a lot of fun. You can ask me another question.
How is it like staying in the house?
Staying in the house in that neighborhood? Well, staying in the house would be okay. Yeah, was it? Yeah, I grew up. It was my mom, my dad. Well, my dad passed away. My dad died when I was 7. And also my great aunt. Great aunt means that it was my mother's aunt, right? So you would say great aunt. So that was good times. I remember dad would take all of us. When I say all of us, a couple of people, like children from the neighborhood, and my cousins. Remember, I told you we have a lot of family in the neighborhood, and he would take us. We would go to where we call Pelican now, or Traverse Way. We would go down there and be kicking football. I didn't know at the time he was doing that to strengthen my legs, you know. Yeah, and then he would take us out for ice cream. So that was a nice time. I had a neighbor. Her name was Laura. She would come over and we would be playing like with my dolls and so on. While my cousin's Adrian, he lives overseas now. He would come and we would play a Scrabble or cards, or we would go to the beach a lot together too. And it was just a really wonderful time. You know, you have some characters. Anybody who knows, as you heard me say, I grew up in Black Rock, that's near town. And sometimes you would get like people have their disagreements and so, but it wouldn't last for a long time. Or even sometimes you might see people like maybe somebody drinks too much or something, and you know what? People will look out for those people too. Even sometimes people want to go and like take things from your trees or you know different things like that. But people, even although you are annoyed at those people and you don't appreciate it, if you see them and they are hungry, you still share what you have with them. You know, people really, that is what really hits home at me in terms of that neighborhood, to see the love and how we look out for each other, even like in our imperfection. We are not perfect. Even auntie, probably Sunny's auntie would do things she shouldn't do, and you will find other adults, other people in the neighborhood will say, well, no, you know, that's not the way, and so on. And you make sure you speak to everyone. Yeah, you be mannerly. What you think you should be saying, like, as look, I'm the one asking questions now. Like when you're walking around and you see adults in your neighborhood, what you would say to them? You would speak and say anything to them?
Good morning.
Exactly. See, you got brought up, see, good morning, you know. How are you? Anything like that. Yeah, be respectful. All right, one more question from you to Reporter Jesse.
How was it back in that time?
How was it back in that time?
Did y'all like have TVs?
Oh, that's what you're hitting back at. We had a TV, a black and white TV at first, right? Yeah. And this TV reached a stage it then used to be working, and I remember sometimes the TV used to come on real low, like it would be playing at the normal volume, and then the TV would just go up really low, and you would have to slam down on top of it. On the top of the TV. Oh yeah, black and white. But I think like when my neighbor came over, some people didn't even have a TV at all, so they would still come to watch. And we had the toilet that we had was a toilet with a chain, and you would have to pull the toilet here, pull the chain to flush the toilet. What else I could say? I remember the TV, but they wouldn't have me like video and fancy radio and so on.
How was the cars back that time?
The cars, my daddy had a car, I think you call it a Morris. You know a lot about cars? I might have to send you a picture. You ever heard about a car called a Morris car? Is the cars like what you see persons, if you ever see pictures and so on about Cuba, these kind of old time, they're very hard cars, they're very tough, strong cars. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture. But my dad had one of those cars. And you know something I did that my mom was telling me about when I went down spending time with mom on Christmas Eve? She told me before she had her license, mom got her license, but she never really drove much and so on. Something was wrong with the car. I don't know if it was a problem starting or what, but my father, he parked the car on the road, and he didn't switch off, turn off the engine, because maybe it would have been difficult to turn it back on. I was in the back, and I jumped in like the driver's seat or the passenger seat, and I moved, shift the gear or whatever, and the car started either going forward or going backwards. And my mom had to try and like think really quickly and get the car into a gas station. Yeah, auntie was naughty. Yeah, I was lucky because that could have caused an accident. But you had those cars. People, you had a lot of people use bicycle in that time too. Motorcycle. I've never been on a motorcycle. Have you ever been on a motorcycle? No, I've never been on a... My mother has been on a motorcycle, yeah. And yeah, I can't really study. Oh, and I had these buses that they call the Rockland buses. No, yeah, you had some of that time. Get up on these buses, and the side of the buses will be open, and when the rain comes down, you have to bring down a flap. Yeah, interesting time. So that's a bit about Auntie. I love I'm going out of character now. That's a bit of reporter Jessica and reporter Joshua. Be sure to let us know how much you enjoy us reporting and bringing the news, bringing these wonderful stories to you, right? What else we want to tell them? Let's finish. Let's give them a little word of encouragement as we leave them. It's New Year's coming up. I don't think we're going to see you before the new year. So we want to be encouraging you in this new year. This is my word from reporter Jessica. Always be giving of your best in everything that you do. Don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to dream big, to reach for the stars. Don't limit yourself. As we say, don't dumb down yourself. Don't shrink yourself to please other people. If you know you're capable, my little peoples know. You're in the class and teacher is asking questions and you know the answers. Don't pretend that you playing shy and hiding because you don't want anybody to say, he always want to answer. No. If you know, feel proud and you let teacher know that you know. And you try your best all the time. Give up your best effort. Okay? And be kind to others and be kind to yourself. Respect yourself. Respect others. All right, reporter Joshua, what word you have to encourage our young people as we approach the new year?
Bring your friends, bring family members,
Mm-hmm.
help them, and
Mm-hmm.
always stay by their side,
Mm-hmm.
and always watch their footsteps,
Mm-hmm.
always watch their backs,
Mm-hmm.
and always look after them. And you be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe. Look out for each other. That's what he's trying to tell you. Be loyal to your friends. Look out for them, and they will look out for you. All right? All right, so let's take them out. You want to get a little drum roll or anything? We're leaving you now. All right, be sure to tune in. Yeah, not too long. Be sure to tune in next time. Same channel, same place, same time for another edition of
The
News Time with the
Jizz
Jizz News Network. See you later. So proud of you.